Hello, I'm Vanshita.
And I'm Tanvi, and we're both first year law students here at BITLAW.
Today we're going to be talking about B.B.A. LL.B program. And firstly, let's start with how we chose this program.
So I am a humanities, I've done humanities in 11th and 12th, and I had science till 10th grade. So I've never really understood commerce. So for me, it was that this was something I could try, something new for me. And I also had this preconceived notion that for me to get into corporate law, I would require a B.B.A, something that would help me. But it's not how that's not how it really works, because the more you do work here, the more you realize it's just as interdisciplinary. You will need a few, BA subjects, and corporate law does not really require you to have such a strong grounding in B.B.A.
But I had done 11th and 12th in commerce, so that's why I decided to take B.B.A. LL.B and take a step forward.
Yeah. So in the first semester, we had financial statement analysis for lawyers, and it was a very important subject to get the non-commerce and the commerce students up to the same level, because it gave me a very brief idea of how to read balance sheets, income statements, things that you would require in your day-to-day working if you plan to work in a corporate company. And it was specifically tuned towards lawyers and not to a level where it was an accounting level, because I think the needs of the lawyers are only just as such, and that's what they really looked to.
We also had management last semester, where our classes were very interactive. We used to have activities in every class. That's how our professor used to teach us management. We used to have presentations, group activities, case studies, and it was a very interactive class, something that most of us have not experienced in school life.
Right. And this semester, we have a subject called marketing management, wherein one of the biggest activities that we've done so far in law school was we have to make a brand book about a specific company of our choice. And here we apply all the models that we've learned so far in marketing onto this company, and gives a very holistic view of, practical application of just theory. And that's something here at BITLAW that we really learn, just practical application of theory instead of rote memory.
When we talk about application-based studying, that's been inculcated in our whole curriculum since day one at BITLAW. Last semester we studied law of torts, and in our very first semester we had an assessment in the moot court, where we had extra lectures just to teach us how to moot, and we had a specific assessment for moot courting. So I think as first semester students, that was a exposure that we wouldn't have gotten in some other college.
Also, we have a lot of guest lectures. Constantly we have experts from the field coming in, giving us this practical application, telling us that, okay, this is how we have become the exemplaries that we've become through this application of the theory that you're learning right now. So it imbibes confidence in you that this theory will take you forward.
And this semester we're studying law of contracts, and we have a very good exercise that we're looking forward to, which is client counseling, where our professors would be acting like clients and we'll be giving them real life solutions to the problems.
Right. And something that's even more practical is the first semester course of legal methods, wherein we were taught about FIRACs, case studies, case notes, how to read a case, the parts of a judgment. And all of this is very important even moving forward, and because it forms the basis of the law. And also, when we'll talk about our internships, it really comes in handy when you work, even as a first-year law student.
This semester we have a legal theory course, and WITS is one of the first colleges which is providing a legal theory course in the first year itself. They want to do this so that we have a base for our future years, and these theories could help us build our writing and research, and we have a head start when it compares to other colleges.
Right. With legal theory, I had an example of a practical application. I had a activity and a project wherein I had to make a law using the theory that was taught to us and applying that theory to the law. And it just shows that the importance of theory, and just when you apply theory to law, the law just becomes fuller and better.
Yeah. And for literature, we had one course last semester and one course this semester. The last the last semester course was focused more on literature and self-expression, where we were taught how to write better, how to articulate ourselves better. Also, we picked up a lot of topics that we may have not chosen to pick read before.
Right, and moving on to we have this thing called a BWC center, which is the Bitzlaw Writing Center, and they really do help us when it comes to our assignments, because we have never written an argument paper before. We've never really written long, not essays, but just forming an argument and substantiating it is a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah.
And for most of us, we've never done that before. So the writing center really helps you. They'll help you with every part of your assignment, grammatically, phrasing, structuring, forming, even ideation stages. The BWC does come in handy that.
Our faculty, I think I could say this on behalf of most of our students, we love our faculty. They're really very good, and they're very different from how we've been taught in schools. In class, our opinions, our views are very much welcome, and we can talk like as if it's a conversation. It doesn't feel like a lecture, it feels like a conversation. So I think all of the faculty over here is very welcoming. And that's not just in the case of like class, but outside of class also, we can talk to them about anything, even if it's stuff not related to academics.
Right, and with the interactive sessions, we have, like she mentioned earlier, that the management program had a lot of activities. One wouldn't think that a commerce subject could be taught like that, in the way that, a lot of case studies, and that's something, yes, common to a lot of other schools, but herein she makes it very relatable. So because you are also a consumer, so she wants you to learn through the lens of a consumer, and that just makes it very understandable and relatable, and the concepts are just grasped in a better and firmer way.
So we also have teaching research fellows, the TRFs, which help us with a lot of our assignments. They tell us what to do, what not to do. Some of the times we miss something in class, so they help us with that as well. They even have office hours, which also the faculty also does have, where we can just book office hours to talk about anything, which is stuff about law that might not be a part of the portion, but they're always open to discussions and debates and a lot other conversations.
Another very helpful aspect of the faculty here are the mentorship programs. As a first year student who's away from home, you have a lot of academic pressure, but you also have a lot of personal issues that you may face. And at the beginning of the first semester, you're assigned a professor who acts as your mentor, and they stay with you for the rest of the year. And any personal issues, any academic issues, any issues at all whatsoever, you can always reach out to them, and they're your mentors. Basically, they help you just get through the first semester, because it's one of the hardest semesters of the 5 years.
Yeah, and the internship cell over here has a lot of raw lectures, so we get to learn hands-on experience, and the lectures are something which we wouldn't be like, we don't need a lecture for this, but something like resume building, LinkedIn profile, all of this is very important when you're finding internships outside of the college. So I think they've helped us build that, and they also help us provide a lot of internships in different cities.
Right, and talking about internships, as a first year law student, I wouldn't expect to be welcomed at a family court, but I got my first internship at the family court in Mumbai. And bringing back the legal methods course that we had, all the basics that were taught to us in that course all came back, because I had to read petitions, I had to read cases, I had to sit in court, and the moot court, the etiquette, it all comes into play when you actually go, and all that theory just becomes practical knowledge, and you can apply it. And that's how I got through the 30 days of my internship, because I had to read petitions day in, day out.
I interned at an NGO. Most of the first semester students intern at an NGO, because they say that we need to get the experience, we need to deal with the real life people to understand their struggles, so that we can be maybe better lawyers and cater to them in the future. So my NGO focused on helping the tribal teachers and tribal students. So I made a lot of infographics and posters catering to those tribal students. I also had conversations with tribal teachers, and I understood that there are so many things that we take for granted over here, but they don't even have the basic luxury of understanding each other in the same language. So I think just having your first internship get you so grounded to real life could help you a lot in your future internships as well.
Moving on to student life here. We have a very vibrant scene. We are co-founders of the Art Club, here at BITS, and we have monthly activities, weekly activities.
Last semester we had festivals like Diwali, Ganpati, Navratri, so we had occasions for all of them planned by the students' arts and cultural committee. We also have jamming nights when the music club comes and everybody just sits and vibes to songs. And
the last weekend we had ATOS, which is the BITS Fest, and we had Shark Tank, which it's a collaboration between the Shark Tank Society,
Fiscus Lex,
and ATOS, and it was a half-day event. And
we also had people performing dance performances. We also had DJ, so it was a very fun day after having so many assignments and tests.
And after a long day in the classes, we go unwind at the badminton courts, the games room, because those are available to us, and we just spend most of our time.
I think our cricket ground and the football ground was a very fun thing where we had matches and stuff that we enjoyed a lot watching. So I think, that's...
Overall, while I thought that my B.B.A journey would be a little difficult since I had no knowledge, that's not the case at all. I could just, I was at par with the other commerce students, and that's not a worry that you should, because I had that worry, but that's not a worry that you should have if you're not a commerce student.
And as someone who's done commerce, I might have thought that, oh, I'm not going to learn anything new in the first year, but I learned so much more that was not covered in my 11th and 12th courses. And over here, I also realized that there's a different way of teaching commerce when it comes to lawyers. So when you're teaching commerce with lawyers, it's a very different course than when you're just teaching commerce for someone who wants to do something else.